to the plate, and he throws hard enough, but I think it's really just his pitch-making ability that sets him apart.
On 2-2, the wind-up, the kick, and the pitch by Boyd. Inside. 95 on the fastball. Wynn darting back out of the way. Mason is 1 for 8 in the series. A strikeout and a double play ball, trying to get on for Wilson Contreras. Boyd rocks into the windup, his 3-2 pitch. Wynn lines it foul down the left field line. Got out in front of that one. Another changeup that had a little bit more of the plate. But a lefty can get away with that, Ricky, with the right-handed batter. If he has precise control of the other pitches, he can get away with one every now and then.
No doubt.
He just did. Here's another 3-2 pitch for Mason Wynn with 1 out, nobody on. Wynn fouls another one back to the screen.
We've seen a few at-bats like this from Mason Wynn over the course of the season. Donovan had one.
He had a 10 pitch yesterday, walking.
Yesterday, that's right.
Mason Wynn twirls the bat. 3-2 the count. Boyd is calling his pitches from the pitch comm on his belt. The 3-2 pitch. Wynn takes outside and takes a walk.
Boy, did he earn that.
Did he ever.
And Boyd doesn't walk very many batters either. He's got a very good, a very low walk rate, 22 walks against 87 punch-outs. Yeah, and that is that's outstanding in his body of work.
And what pitch number was that?
Tough.
10.
How about that?
Boo, go the Cub fans for Wilson Contreras. He only helped them win a World Series here. Wilson hasn't done much in this series. 1 for 7, a walk, a run scored, and 3 strikeouts. Facing Boyd. Contreras swings, pops it up, and it's foul, out of play below us. Contreras hasn't done much of anything at all. He's been on with a walk facing Boyd. He has struck out 4 times and is looking for his first hit, 0 for 9.
Keep waiting for him to just break out.
Me too.
Not just against Boyd, but I think he's close. He's just not quite there yet.
Mason Wynn with good speed over at first base. From the stretch, Boyd throws to first. Wynn is back safely.
I don't offer this as an excuse for Wilson, and I have not heard him say this, but I'm just saying it. You get hit 14 times, and half those times are on your hand, and several of those times recently. I just wonder whether that's been an effect on his swing.
Runner has to be careful with Boyd, who leads the major leagues with 7 pickoffs. Here's a swing and a foul. That pitch was right in on Wilson's hands at 94 miles an hour with a little cut. Fouled out of play. 0-2 on Contreras. Wilson comes in batting .246, 19 doubles, 11 home runs, and 51 RBIs. Contreras is trying to move. Mason Wynn from first. Now the pitch. Ground ball right side. And a long way for Horner to get there. He throws and just, safe at first. Contreras is called safe. Playing up the middle, Horner had to travel a good deal of ground to his left, get the ball, and from the outfield grass, try to throw out Contreras, and he beat the throw.
Cubs wanted to look at that for a moment, then said play on. Very close play at the bag, as I would say that was just bang, bang. It could have gone either way. They called him safe. He's going to be safe. They called him out. He would have been out.
He got his foot on the bag just as the ball entered the glove. The ball took a bounce. Had it been a direct throw, Wilson probably would have been out. Here's Alec Burleson, lefty against lefty. 0 for 3 against Boyd. Boyd with the pitch. Burley takes, down and away. So the Cardinals have some action going against Matthew Boyd. They didn't have much going at all against him on June 25th.
Boy, I'll say.
Only 3 hits, no walks over 6 innings. The Cardinals were shut out the last 2 games of that series. Now the pitch. Check swing, a strike anyway.
Wynn, Pozo, and Gorman had the hits that game. Gorman not in the lineup, but Pozo is.
Pozo is waiting on deck. He's DHing. Baez is catching, batting 8th. 2 on, 1 out. No score, top of the first. Burleson takes a pitch outside. 2-1. Alec is hitting .294. He has 14 doubles, 11 home runs, and his 78 hits. and 38 RBIs. The wind is blowing left to right field and blowing out at a pretty good clip. Boyd with a wheel around, no throw to second base. That's where Mason Wynn is the runner. Dansby Swanson, the shortstop, is playing about 12 feet away from the bag. The infield is playing for the ground ball, playing Burleson to pull. Shaw is off the line at third. The pitch to Burley. Fastball right there, a strike call, and Burleson couldn't pull the trigger. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Burleson is 3 out of 7 in the series, 2 walks, a homer. It was his home run that started the rally in the 8th inning yesterday, and the Cardinals scored 5 times to win. The pitch on the way. Burleson fouls that one off the face mask of Reese McGuire.
Got another fastball, too. He doubled up on the fastball. Threw one by him in the middle of the plate, then came in just a little bit more on that one.
Matthew Boyd at 8-3, 2.65 ERA. He has walked 23, striking out 87, allowing 86 hits in 99 innings. With 2 on, 1 out. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a pitch down and away. Burleson reached for it. He strikes out.
You mentioned he's calling his own pitches. You know, I've long been a believer that pitchers call their own game anyway, even before PitchCom. But I think PitchCom gives them the opportunity to just do it right away. I mean, why not? I mean, if a pitcher has an idea of how they want to attack every hitter and you understand how you feel personally at that moment, why not call the game?
Boyd took a chance. He got Burleson to chase one outside. But 2 down, 2 on. Here is Joel Pozo. Pozo hit the pinch home run yesterday. The pitch. He takes a breaking ball strike. Pozo's 1 for 2 with a double facing Matthew Boyd. 4 for his last 8. 5 out of his last 11 with a homer and 3 RBIs. Joel Pozo. All spread out in the right-handed batter's box. He always swings hard. The pitch swung on and missed. Fastball, and he was a little bit late on that one at 95. Boyd is allowed a walk and an infield hit. He has a ground out from Donovan, a strikeout from Burleson, and is ahead 0-2 of Joel Pozo. Pozo has walked once and struck out 5 times, batting .329. Pozo stands even with the plate. Here's Boyd's pitch. A swing and a miss. Got him to reach for a high outside fastball. The Cardinals strand 2. The Cubs are coming up.
Cardinals fans, when it's time to refresh and feed the team, it's on at On the Run. 60-cent sippers? Oh.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run in the first New York Mets home game after 9/11. Hear moments like this and more on the MLB app and MLB.com.
It's a great night for baseball.
This matchup features some of the best talent in the game. A lot of power, a lot of marquee names.
Here we go. Buckle up, folks. There's a guy who wants to be in the spotlight. The bats have come alive. A showstopper. We're just playing Powerball. This place doesn't know what hit them. These teams are entertaining, are they not?
The show continues. Experience game-to-game coverage of the night's biggest moments, live and commercial-free. MLB Network Strike Zone, Wednesday and Friday nights all season.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco. His 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard.
And his first pitch of the game was parked into the seats in right field by Ian Happ. As Fetty allowed 3 home runs, he walked 2, struck out 2, 8 hits, 7 earned runs in 3 2/3 against the Cubs at Busch Stadium. And then Ricky told you in the pregame that Fetty gave up 7 runs, 10 hits in 5 innings in a loss Monday at Pittsburgh. Happ takes a pitch outside, and already Fetty is ahead of the game from where he was starting against the Cubs at Busch Stadium. That was in Game 3 of the 4-game series. The pitch just off the outside corner, 2-0. My only worry about Fetty is, in a park like this, if he picks, he'll get in trouble. The pitch. There she goes, right field, down the line, and it is a foul ball. My goodness, did he park that one.
That came very close to going out on Sheffield in right field. I think it went to the last row in the kind of the lower section here, but that's a long way from home plate.
Oh, my goodness, that was thigh high and over the middle of the plate. The 2-1 pitch, a swing and a miss.
You know, the problem, Fetty picks, and if he doesn't pick, I think he gets hit worse, though, John. That's the hard part. He has to pick, but he has to pick well. He has to kind of get those corners, and if he's not, like he just didn't there on a pitch a couple of inches off the plate,
outside,
then he's
a changeup for ball 3-2. But by picking, he walks too many batters, and then he gets hit hard. The 3-2 pitch to Ian Happ. There's a line drive right field, and it is caught on the run by Alec Burleson. When Fetty has been able to do well, he gets hit hard, but many of those baseballs go right to somebody.
Yeah, baseball happens both positively and negatively, doesn't it?
Seems to. Scott Credit Union and the Cardinals are celebrating the 4th of July weekend. For a limited time, all-inclusive tickets start as low as $59, including all fees. For more details, visit cardinals.com/Scott Credit Union. Here's Kyle Tucker. Tucker takes outside. The all-star right fielder had 3 all-star appearances with Houston, and he'll be making one for the Cubs coming up down in Atlanta. 3 out of 5, a double, a homer, facing Eric Fetty. The left-handed batter takes outside, ball 2.
I think your point about picking is if you're picking off the plate, that's not going to work. Now, Greg Maddux was a guy that was picking corners, but he was hitting corners, and he was pretty successful at doing that over the years. And I'm not comparing the two, of course.
There's a fastball down the middle, knee high. Called a strike, 2-1. Tucker taking all the way.
But you have to, he has to stay out of the middle of the zone no matter what way you look at it.
Tucker is 1 out of 8 in the series, a run scored. The pitch by Fetty. Ball 3, down and in, 3-1. Fetty is 33-50 with a 4.78 ERA for his major league career. Game 151, start number 137. 0-2 against the Cubs. The pitch, high, ball 4. That was a strike, wasn't it?
It was.
But by missing off the plate other pitches, it's going to be tough to get the borderline calls. Now Seiya Suzuki. How did Suzuki not make the All-Star team?
Yeah, well, honestly, the Central Division has a gripe, in my opinion, and we can talk about this as we move along here, and just in terms of how few representatives are on the All-Star team.
Here's a belt-high fastball strike on the inside corner.
Very good players in the division. Now, they're also well-balanced teams when you think about the Brewers, the Cardinals, the Reds. I'd say all very well-balanced teams.
The one-strike pitch with a man on. Suzuki takes a low slider.
But only 7 representatives from the 5 teams, 3 of them Cubs, and the National League West has 14 and the East has 11, but the Central has the best division record.
Oh, the runner goes, a swing and a miss, and no throw to second base. Kyle Tucker had 7 steps towards second when Fetty released the pitch. Didn't pay attention to him at all. 22 steals for Kyle Tucker. No score, but the Cubs have a runner at second base with a walk and a stolen base. The RBI leader is at the plate. The breaking ball's high and outside. 2-2 on Seiya Suzuki.
But important to the point of Suzuki is that you look at the numbers, most RBIs in all of baseball, 24 home runs.
He has 21 doubles, 3 triples, 89 hits.
All-star numbers for sure.
The pitch, and that's taken a little bit low. 3-2. Joel Pozo going through the signs by way of pitch count. Pete Crow Armstrong is on deck. A lead at second base for Kyle Tucker. Petty holding the ball to his back, straightens. From the first base side of the rubber, the pitch on the way. That's swung on, and a fly ball hit to left center field. On the run, it is Nootbaar who makes the catch. He crisscrossed with Garrett Hampson, the center fielder, made the play, and back to second, Kyle Tucker. Before Pete Crow Armstrong bats. Let's pause for an ID on the Cardinals Network, powered by Graybar.
One Cardinal Way, where luxury living meets legacy baseball. Next level living with world-class amenities and unparalleled views of Busch Stadium. Find your new home at onecardinalway.com.
KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood.
Along with Ricky Horton, Mike Claiborne, I'm John Rooney. Pete Crow Armstrong swings and lines a hit to left field. And it's knocked down by Nootbaar. Tucker's going to score. The throw into second, 1-0 Cubs. Crow Armstrong didn't waste any time picking up his 67th RBI.
He just shot that the other way. Perfect swing. And Nootbaar did everything he could do to try to get to the ball and kind of smother it, get it on a half hop, but I don't think he throws out Kyle Tucker anyway. He runs too well.
But the walk has turned into a run.
And the play before that could have been a lot worse than it was. Nootbaar made the play in front of Hampson in left center field, and the communication was not great between the two of them. Cardinals are fortunate that that second out was made.
Now Michael Busch, 7 out of 9 in the series. He has struck out twice. Pickoff throw to first. Armstrong is back safely. Busch, 7 out of 9, 5 runs scored, 4 homers, a double, and 6 RBIs. 3 of those home runs in Friday's game. The Cubs won it 11-3. The pitch to Busch, taken for a high strike. The way Pozo jumped to catch the pitch, I'm surprised the Cardinals got the call.
Yeah, in fact, it wasn't a strike. So the Cubs are giving it to the home plate umpire right now because of that.
Pete Crow Armstrong a lead. Contreras is holding. Good lead at first base. He bluffs a move, and there's another high pitch. That was dropped by Pozo. Pete Crow Armstrong did not take off after 2 or 3 quick steps towards second.
He is an outstanding base runner. Not just an outstanding base stealer. He's an outstanding base runner.
26 out of 30 stealing bases. Big lead. There he goes. The pitch is taken outside a ball. The throw, he is safe. Good throw by Pozo. Wynn coming up to accept the throw. The Cardinals are checking with the video room, but I think Pete Crow Armstrong got the arm in there.
I think he bobbled the throw. I think that's why he's safe. The throw was right on the money, and if Mason Wynn would have held on to the baseball, perhaps they would have been able to call him out. It was a close play, but the ball just popped out of his glove.
Yeah, it did. Michael Busch with the runner in scoring position, 2 outs. The pitch up and in, 3-1.
Boy, it's a labor for Eric Fetty right now, isn't it?
Everything is. He hasn't won since May the 9th when he shut out the team that brought him to the big leagues, the Washington Nationals. The pitch, a strike, 3-2.
Speaking of the Nationals, I saw the reported news on MLB.com that they are going to part ways with their manager and general manager at the end of the year.
Now on 3-2. Half swing and a foul in and out of Pozo's mitt. The ball rolls up the third base line. Michael Busch has a life here with a runner at second. A run in. It's 1-0 Cubs. That ball just went in and out of Pozo's mitt. Again, no skill. The ball hit the palm of the mitt.
Right.
Didn't go to the webbing. Here's the pitch, and Busch gets onto this one, popping it up foul out of play. A one-out walk to Tucker. He stole at second base without a throw. He had an enormous jump. And then a base hit by Pete Crow Armstrong with 2 outs, scored a run. Crow Armstrong stole second base. The 3-2 inside, ball 4. Michael Busch takes a walk, 2 given up this inning by Fetty.
And significant to talk about the national situation because the Cardinals are going to play the Nationals during the homestand.
That is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday nights. Here is Dusty Blake coming out of the Cardinal dugout. Oliver Marmol will not go long with Fetty in this game at all. The Cardinals are trying to win the series. If the Cardinals get a win in this game tonight, then it's a pretty good road trip, all things considered.
No doubt.
Starting out with a 3-game sweep, being shut out all 3 games in Pittsburgh, getting hammered here Friday, then coming from behind to win yesterday, and pick up a win tonight to take 2 out of 3 would be huge.
I think if you think of any team in baseball, if you're able to go on the road and come back with a winning record, they would be happy with that. And, there's crazy things going on in baseball right now. The Cleveland Guardians have lost, 10 straight games.
And the Pirates, who had won 6 in a row, beating the Mets and the Cardinals at home, lost all 3 at Seattle. And they were shut out 1-0 today.
And it looks like the Astros have a shot at sweeping the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. They have a 5-1 lead. Actually, that is a final.
Now Dansby Swanson, he has hit safely in 5 straight, going 8 out of 22. It's a 27th game that Swanson has faced Fetty. The first pitch, low for a ball. Fetty started Swanson with a slider. That was pitch number 27 for the Cardinals starter. Boyd threw 25 in the top half. A look to second, another look. Pickoff throw back there, back safely. Pete Crow Armstrong.
Looks like Fetty's doing something a little different to me. I'd have to ask Dusty Blake about it, but I feel like the way he's coming set, he's really hiding the ball more.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps there's some concern somewhere along the line of him tipping pitches. Being very kind of discreet.
Now the pitch. Outside a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Two walks in the inning. The first one turned into a run. Pete Crow Armstrong with an RBI single scored Kyle Tucker. 2 on, 2 outs. Fastball, strike called. Great speed at second and Crow Armstrong. Busch is the runner at first. Contreras plays behind him. It's a balanced infield behind Fetty. With the right-handed batting, Dansby Swanson up. The 2-time All-Star fouls a fastball back to the screen. Ozo throwing a new ball to the mound.
So the official word is that Dave Martinez, manager of the Nationals, and the president of baseball operations, Mike Rizzo, have been fired by the Nationals effective immediately. So we will not see them in St. Louis.
That series begins Tuesday night. The pitch is fouled out of play, going to the rooftop off to the right.
Love being around both those guys, actually.
I've known Mike Rizzo since he was a little boy here in Chicago. Coming out to the ballpark with his dad, Phil, who was a terrific scout and scouted for his son with the Washington Nationals. And Dave Martinez played for the Chicago White Sox. The pitch, a foul ball out of play to the right side. Played with the White Sox among other teams and did such a good job as part of Joe Maddon's staff down at Tampa Bay. Then got a chance to manage the Washington Nationals. Fetty on 2-2. The pitch. Swanson pops it up. It's foul off to the right. And the wind is going to take that one on out of play beyond the reach of Burleson and Donovan and Contreras.
Boy, a ton of pitches in this inning for Eric Fetty. My goodness.
The next will be 34.
Yeah, that's a lot of pitches. Now, Boyd threw 25. And one good thing about Boyd throwing 25 pitches is the Cardinals saw 7 relievers yesterday because it was a reliever game. And so if you can somehow get the pitch count up for Boyd, make his start shorter than normal, then
just don't get too far behind.
Don't get too far behind, indeed.
With 2 on, the pitch is hit foul down the left field line with authority way back in the lower level. A hanging slider, but the pitch was up and in and fouled off by Swanson. The beat goes on between Swanson and Eric Fetty. Fetty wants a different baseball. Gets one from Joel Pozo. The 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up for Dansby Swanson. Mason Wynn had a 10-pitch plate appearance and walked. With 2 on, 2 outs. Fetty's next pitch, Swanson pops it up. Short right center field. Donovan moving out. Calling. He makes the catch in front of Burleson. Swanson pops out, leaving 2 on. Could have been worse. We go to the second, 1-0 Cubs.
The Laborers International.
And then a marathon first inning. 25 pitches for Matthew Boyd, 35 for Eric Fetty.
We had 61 pitches in the first inning of yesterday's game and 60 in the first inning of today's. That's a lot of pitches in both games.
Lars Nootbaar will lead off. He has hit safely his last 3. A great bunt single in the Cardinal rally. He kept the line moving yesterday. Scored one of the 5 runs. Facing Matthew Boyd. Nootbaar shows bunt, takes it away, and takes up and in. Ball 1. Right now, Matt Shaw is not really buying Lars Nootbaar bunting, and he might. As Nootbaar is 0 for 2 with a strikeout head-to-head with Boyd. Nootbaar takes one down the middle. 60-cent sippers are on the run like today. The day after the Cardinals score 6 or more, swing on by on the run for your favorite drinks for only 60 cents. They have your bases covered. It's on the run. Swing and a miss.
He drops down and throws that slider. It's very tough. That's what he did to Alec Burleson. Kind of drops down to about 3/4 and still has a sharp break to it that also goes away from him and down.
The 1-2 pitch. Outside, 2-2. Nootbaar did not chase after seeing the slider for strike 2. Thomas Ajacey is on deck, then Pedro Pajes. 1-0 Cubs. The windup by Matthew Boyd is pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball strikes out Nootbaar, and Boyd has struck out 3 in a row. 1 out in the second for Thomas Ajacey.
Can we just pretend that Boyd is right-handed?
Well, there's Ajacey. 2 for his last 16. He drove in 2 runs in the game yesterday. 2 for 5 in the series. He takes his time, using up the batter's timeout before getting in. Right-hander against the left-handed pitching Matthew Boyd. The pitch to Thomas. Just inside. Didn't miss by much.
Todd Tishner is the crew chief behind the plate. Adam Hammery at first. James Jean at second. John Tumpain at third.
Fastball jammed him in a foul ball back to the screen. Evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Cardinals have had 1 hit and a walk. They stranded Wynn at second, Contreras at first when Burleson and Pozo struck out in the first inning. 1 out, nobody on here. So JC wraps that down the right field line. Tucker's on the move, and he makes the sliding catch. No. Oh, he made the play, according to the first base umpire. He was indicating fair ball and then said out.
Stubby Clapp is telling Sajacy to stay at second base. The Cardinals aren't 100% sure about that.
I don't think the first base umpire, Adam Hammery, was 100% sure.
He totally didn't catch that ball. That's going to be a double.
And Sajacy is on second. I was going to say the ball's in play, and then Hammery holds up the right arm like it's an out.
Well, I think you could actually look at this and say maybe he deserves to be on third, too. I think that's part of the question. You call him out, and he stops running. I think they could have the...
St. Louis is challenging the call of catch on the field.
Yeah, and
you bring up a good point on that, Ricky.
And I think if it's not a catch, and it's not, then you could also say that Sajacy, because he was rolling around on the ground out in right field, Sajacy runs well. He was already at second base. Maybe you put him at third.
The ball went to the side track out of our view down the line, but as Tucker went into the slide, he did not catch the ball. Went off his glove, hit the ground, and Sajacy ended up at second base. But if I'm Ollie, I go out there and say, well, why not put him on third?
And that's something that they can decide on their own in New York if they see that and believe that that's a more appropriate thing. You'd have to look where Sajacy actually was. They're reviewing right now. They keep looking and showing the fact that he dropped it. I mean, he didn't catch it. It was a one-hopper, basically. Caught it. I mean, it's a nice play. I'll give him that, but it's not an out. But the real question, and I think this might take a little thought, is where is Sajacy?
Well, he's standing about 5 feet from second base out there now.
Him.
What, are we playing Where's Waldo?
Yeah,
or what?
Right. Well, we got a base runner one way.
The tying run is Sajacy, whether he's at second or third. Be nice to have him at third with 1 out and Baez coming up.
So from our vantage point, it's actually for folks to...
And I think that's the question they're kicking around in New York. Where did we place the runner?
Because they know he dropped it. They took 2 seconds to figure that out. But we cannot see. We couldn't even see the outfielder where it is in that corner. There is no room.
I saw Tucker go into his slide, and then he was out of my view.
He disappears, right.
And then I saw Hammery indicate fair ball, which meant, okay, he didn't catch it. And then Hammery put up the right arm. Well, the ball clearly hits the ground.
They keep showing that, and it's not going to change.
I guess if they feel if they keep playing it long enough on ESPN, the ball will stick to his glove. I don't know.
There's no doubt in my mind that they're discussing placement right now.
Right now, Thomas Sajacy's talking things over with Dansby Swanson.
He should just go stand over at third. Why not? It's dead ball.
Well, this is taking a long time.
And I know the fans here are confused by that.
It is overturned. It is not a catch. The runner will be placed at second base. St. Louis retains their challenge.
Wow. I'm with you, Ricky. When an out is called and the runner stops running, I think Sajacy could have made third base the way the ball got away from Tucker.
I'd have to see that part on the replay, not the catch.
So the 5th double of the year for Sajacy, and here's Pedro Pages. Pages takes upstairs, ball 1. Pedro has 6 home runs, 25 RBIs, batting .214. The tying run is Sajacy, 1-0 Cubs. Top half of the second inning. Matthew Boyd with the pitch, and that is tapped foul over the shoulder of the catcher, Reese McGuire.
So for folks that may not have heard, one more day off for Nolan Arenado, who's dealing with shoulder issue, and he did it swinging, according to Ollie, and Ollie felt that, one more day plus the off day tomorrow would be safer to make sure he's back 100%. That's why Sajaysi's playing. 2 hits yesterday, 1 already today.
Sajaysi off to a lead. Horner trying to shorten that lead at second. Boyd with the 1-1 pitch. Pages takes strike 2. 1-2 on the Cardinals catcher, who's 0 for 6 in the series. A run batted in, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. And timeout taken by Pages. Strong wind blowing from left to right field. The Cubs give up the lines. Happ plays over in left center field. Over toward right center, Kyle Tucker. Pete Crow Armstrong straight up in center. Sajaysi takes a lead at second. The pitch on the way from Matthew Boyd, way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pages is trying to break an 0 for 7. Looking for RBI number 26. Sajaysi doubled with 1 out. He takes a lead at second base. Boyd's next pitch, fouled off. Do I think of Frank Tanana when he pitched for Detroit? He wasn't the flamethrower he was with the Angels.
Right.
But he did something that Boyd does so well right now, is bust the fastball in on a right-handed batter's hands. That's what he just did with Pages. The 2-2 pitch. Check swing, down and in, 3-2.
And Tanana was doing that early in his career, 95 guy. But the guy that I saw that you're talking about, he probably was 88, 89, but he could still do it.
He could still do it. He put it where he wanted it. The 3-2 pitch here. Swing and a miss. Something off speed and up. Strikes out Pages. 4 strikeouts out of the last 5 batters. It's up to Garrett Hampson. Hampson is 0 for 3 with a walk while facing Matthew Boyd. Hampson 1 for 1, a run scored in this series. He wigwags the bat over the plate, wearing number 13 on the road gray Cardinals jersey. Sajaysi leads at second. The pitch. Curveball doesn't curve enough. High and outside, ball 1.
Victor Scott slumping a bit, 0 for his last 14. I say a bit, that's a lot. A couple of strikeouts yesterday, so he has the off day against the lefty Boyd.
From the stretch, the 1-0 pitch. Instead, wheel around, no throw to second base. Sajaysi hustles back to the bag anyway. Swanson is playing right at the edge of the outfield grass, way off second base, about 10-15 feet away from the bag. Second baseman Nico Horner up the middle. The pitch for Hampson. Strike called. 1-1. Curveballs, changeups, an occasional slider, and then the fastball in on the hands of a right-handed batter. That's the way Matthew Boyd has worked so far in this game. The pitch. That's fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Newbar struck out. Sajaysi doubled. Pages struck out. And Hampson is down 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hampson has played with Arizona, Cincinnati, and the Cardinals this year. Claimed off waivers on June 24th from the Reds. Playing center field tonight with the left-handed pitcher going. That left-handed pitcher, Boyd, throws on 1-2. Jammed him, and a foul ball back to the screen, and there's the fastball right in on the knuckles. Thomas Sajaysi doubled with 1 out. He's standing on second base right now with 2 down. 1-2 on Hampson. Hampson, 30 years old, out of Long Beach State.
And another 20-pitch or more inning for Boyd.
His 20th pitch of the inning right here. A swing and a miss. A changeup strikes out Hampson, and Boyd strikes out the side, leaving Sajaysi at second. We go to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Cubs. Nico Horner looks at a ball a little bit high. Eric Fetty has thrown 36 pitches. Here's a ball up and in. Ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to Horner, who's 1 for his last 16, 1 for 7 in this series. Here's a run scored, run batted in. Fetty's 2-0 pitch. Horner takes a fastball strike.
You would think on one point that Eric Fetty would be a little bit more courageous to attack the zone here with the wind blowing in as hard as it is.
The windup, the 2-1 pitch. Horner hits it hard to the gap in right center field, and it is going to be knocked down by Burleson. He picks it up, throws into second. A hit for a slide, and Horner is in there safely. Great try by Burleson in right center field.
A great try and a great throw from the ground. He literally was laying on the ground after he kept that ball from going to the wall. He smothered it. While he was on the ground, he picked it up and essentially on the ground threw the ball one hop into second base, basically from his knees.
He trapped the ball, but kept it near his body. And the throw made the play very close as Horner was able to maintain contact with the bag. Reese McGuire takes a pitch low for a ball. The Cubs have their second hit, their fourth base runner. A walk to Tucker and a steal turned into a run on a hit by Pete Crow Armstrong. There's a line shot, one hop. Contreras takes it at first, steps on the bag. I think that ball caught him.
I agree.
Horner is still at second, one out.
He was playing about even with the bag because he wanted to be able to keep Horner from going from second to third. That's a play we've seen more and more. I feel like Tony La Russa was on that maybe before anybody else was.
Well, Albert Pujols did that so well.
Yeah, and then Tony put him there. I mean, the idea of saying, we're not going to just give you third base on a ball hit to the right side of the infield, so he had very little time to react there.
Matt Shaw is the batter. The right-handed hitter takes strike one. Shaw's 1 for his last 15, but 0 for 7 in this series. He got on a fielder's choice and stole a base. A runner at second, 1 out. Fetty's pitch. And that goes to the bricks behind home plate. A wild pitch. The second uncorked by Fetty this season. Now Horner is on third with 1 out, and Shaw is looking to get the ball in the air.
The wild pitches that we've had in this series have all been painful wild pitches because of how the advancement takes place. So now you've got the infield in again. That was a ball that...
And look at where Contreras is playing.
Yeah.
Starting against a bunt.
Perhaps Paje should have tried to block that one instead of Pickett.
The pitch, a fastball, strike called. 1-2 on Shaw.
Well, Shaw bunting is a possibility, and I think that's what
I think it's still a possibility with 2 strikes.
I wouldn't be surprised.
With the infield in tight, Contreras backs up to the edge of the grass. The pitch, low for a ball, 2-2. Lead double by Horner. A wild pitch put him on third. 1 out. Shaw's the batter with a 2-2 count, and in Happ on deck. Fetty from the first base side of the rubber, out of the stretch. Now the pitch. Outside, 3-2. Over his last 9 starts, the Cardinals are 2-7. But Fetty does not have a decision during those starts, and he's down by a run now. The 3-2 pitch with a runner at third. Ball 4. The number 9 batter, a 210 hitter, takes a walk. The third given up by Fetty. Now he's in trouble with Happ coming up as we pause for an ID on the Cardinals Network, powered by Gray Bar.
Skip the drive-thru line. Your favorite coffee house flavor.
Ricky Horton, Mike Claiborne. Ryan Schulte is our producer-engineer. I'm John Rooney at Wrigley Field. Ian Happ is the batter. He lined out sharply his first time up. The pitch by Fetty. Strike on the inside corner. He hit a spot that time.
Well, you say it sets up the double play, which is not really a consolation. when you, again, have the 9th place batter, and he's probably going to steal second base on this pitch.
11 steals and 13 attempts. Fetty from the stretch looks over the shoulder. Holding, throws over there, and just back safely, Matt Shaw.
Cardinals thinking the same thing I was. The Cubs have the most stolen bases in the National League. Tampa Bay leads the American League.
Jose Javier is coaching at first base. Quentin Berry over at third. The pitch out is called. Nothing's on. 1 ball, 1 strike. John King is getting ready in the Cardinal bullpen, and Joel Pozo is going to pay a call on Ian Happ.
I think they want King ready for Kyle Tucker.
I do too.
I think that's what's going on here. I mean, they're just, I feel for Eric Fetty. I know he's just not at his best. I mean, he is not. There's not an effort question. It's not
the same pitcher he was this time last year.
No,
when
it's not.
He was the one bright spot in their rotation for the Chicago White Sox.
So there's no, it's still a results game, though. I mean, it's not about not doing the work, not about not caring about it. It's just not getting it done, and not very many quality pitches in this game.
Pitch number 50 coming up for Fetty with runners at first and third, 1 out in the second inning. The pitch. And that's taken just below the knees. A slider for ball 2, 2-1 on Ian Happ. Happ is grounded into 5 double plays, but against Fetty, he gets the ball in the air. He has a homer, 3 RBIs head-to-head with Fetty. Fetty's pitch. Fouled off to the left, made him reach that time for a changeup. 2-2. A lead double by Horner. Then Reese McGuire grounded out. Fetty uncorked a wild pitch, and Matt Shaw took a walk. 2-2 on the leadoff man in their order, Ian Happ. The pitch to him, high, ball 3. Three and 2, and I expect Shaw to be moving on the 3-2 pitch. Yeah. Ian Happ shortens up on the bat an inch or 2. Shaw takes a lead at first. There he goes, and the pitch is taken for ball 4. The bases are loaded. Two walks in each inning. We're in the second. Here's Oliver Marmol. That's it for Fetty. This pitching change is brought to you by Goodwill. We'll be back.
All remaining new 2025 Kia K5s available now.
corner. 93 on the sinker from John King. Tucker backs away from the batter's box. He's back in there, facing up with the pitcher at 9 seconds. He has to do that by 8 or it's a violation. With the bases loaded, the 1-strike pitch. Tucker takes way outside. Slider that wasn't even close to the outside corner, 1-1.
4 walks for Eric Fetty, a ton of pitches, 53 pitches, less than half of them for strikes, 26.
That's in an inning and a third. The bases are loaded. Horner is over at third base. The pitch. A strike on the outside corner. 1-2. Fastballs for King to get ahead 1-2 of Kyle Tucker. Horner at third base, Shaw at second, Happ at first. They all run well. The outfielders are straight up. The infield a double play depth. The pitch by King. A swing and a foul ball back. And Tucker had a home run swing. Tucker hit 23 home runs in 78 games for Houston last year. 17 home runs, 52 RBIs for the Chicago Cubs. 3-time All-Star with Houston, and he is an All-Star as a Cub this year. He walked, stole a base, and scored the Cub run in the first inning with the bases loaded. The 1-2 pitch. Low, 2-2. Wouldn't chase the changeup. The Cardinals have stranded 2 runners at second base. They've left 3 on total. The Cubs left runners at first and second in the first inning. They have the bases loaded here, 1 out. King's pitch swung on and a base hit to center field. Horner scores. Shaw scores. On to third goes Happ on the long 2 RBI single by Kyle Tucker. 3-0 Cubs. Ricky, to me, it looked like they had too much room in that part of the infield for Tucker.
You noticed it, and he hit it right there. It was not the best pitch that John King threw in that at-bat. He threw him some good ones, but that was basically middle in, which is where you can hit that ball. If he hits his spot, maybe a different story, but that was a slider that didn't slide, and he didn't get away with it.
3-0 Cubs. Here's Seiya Suzuki. The runner at third, Happ, belongs to Fetty. The pitch by King. Suzuki takes strike 1. Suzuki wigwagging the bat over the plate. Hit a fly ball to left center field. That fly ball will get another run in. The pitch by King, fouled off the screen above the Cardinal dugout. 0-2. King with a new baseball stands to the third base side of the rubber, while Happ walks off to a lead at third. Quentin Berry going through some signs. Wouldn't surprise me to see Tucker take off. He doesn't go, and the pitch is in the dirt, knocked down by Pozo as King spiked a curveball.
This is 4 straight half innings to start this game where each pitcher has thrown at least 20 pitches in the inning. Been long half innings, but right now the Cubs have the best of it.
The Cardinals can't afford to give up any more.
Nope.
I mean, here is Matthew Boyd, who hasn't allowed any more than a couple of runs in a long stretch of starts. The pitch in the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pozo throws a new ball to the mound. Suzuki has hit safely in 5 straight games, 0 for 1 tonight, 2 out of 9 in the series. His hits, a home run, and a double. With first and third, 1 out, the 2-2 pitch. And that's hit right back to King. They got the runner caught between third and home. Pozo with the ball. Running the runner back to third and tagged out by Sajasi. Happ is out. First and second, 2 outs. I should have said Pozo. Pages with the throw, but they get the out at third base.
We'll take it.
Pages ran the runner Happ back to the bag and then made the quick throw to Sajasi, who applied the tag. Tucker is on second. Suzuki on the fielder's choice is the runner at first base. Did King throw the ball to the plate too soon on that, Ricky?
He may have. I mean, you run at the runner is what you're supposed to do.
Here's a pitch low for Pete Crow Armstrong.
And what you also try to do is get ahead of him and make him run back to the base where he came from. So in case there's a mishap, he's going in the right direction. But he gave it up to Pages, and they got the job done at least.
Here's a foul ball back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He actually threw it underhand even to Pages.
Crow Armstrong drove in the Cub run in the first inning. As Pozo is DHing tonight, Pages behind the plate. Pages going through the signs by way of the pitch com. King with runners at first and second, 2 down. Now the pitch. Grounded to the second baseman. The All-Star Donovan throws out All-Star Pete Crow Armstrong. But the Cubs add on with the help of a couple of walks in the inning. And all 3 runs are charged to Fetty. Ricky has the third, 3-0 Cubs.
At the crack of
replace Eric Fetty, who just went an inning and a third to start out the game. Matthew Boyd rolling right along for the Chicago Cubs, and he's ready for the first pitch here in the top of the third, and it's a breaking pitch, strike one to Brendan Donovan. Donnie bounced out to second his first time. Boyd, first time through the lineup, gave up 2 hits, a Contreras ground ball hit and a Sajaci double, and he also walked Mason Wynn, and he misses low 1-1. The wind still howling out towards right field.
In 7 innings against the Guardians, Boyd struck out 5 his last time out.
Next pitch is grounded to the right side, and that's going to be knocked down by the second baseman, and Donnie's going to beat that out. An infield hit, a good start for the Cardinals here in the third inning. A dive by Bush, he couldn't come up with it. Then a dive by the second baseman Horner, he did, but he fumbled it a bit, and really no chance to throw out Donovan with the pitcher covering. So the Cardinals again with the base runner, Mason Wynn will bat. Graybar is your electrical and datacom distributor, helping to power, connect, or maintain your operation.
Yep.
Graybar does that.
What did he say?
I'm not sure what he said.
I think he said, no.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, something like that.
That's how I translated it. Mason Wynn bats for the second time and takes a pitch high for a ball. Nice long at-bat for Mason Wynn.
10 pitches.
First inning, you bet. So the pitch count's up there for Boyd, too. That's the good news. The bad news is it's 3-0 Chicago, and we are only in the third inning. Hitting room right side of the infield. And the pitch to Mason is fouled back. He was trying to hit it there. You always tell when they wait and then they try to guide the ball the other way. They keep their hands back, a little bit of an inside-out swing where they set the bat angle. Just can tell they're trying to hit the ball the other way. Wind hitting 256 coming into play today. Boyd, the lefty, set about chest high, and a move to first, and he almost threw that away. There's that good move by Boyd.
Leads the majors. He has 7 pickoffs.
Each team with 3 hits.
The Cardinals have as many hits in 2 innings plus 1 batter as they had in 6 innings on June 25th against Boyd.
Let's get greedy. Let's get some more. Next pitch is taken outside. That was close. Missed the zone, so the swing pitch goes Mason Wynn's way. 2-1.
He said it again.
He said we need a new baseball.
Glad you heard that.
Something like that. I speak Spanish, I just don't speak umpire. 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch to Mason Wynn, and that's taken high. That was close at 94. Close, but no cigar. 3-1 the count. Good hitting count for Mason Wynn with Wilson Contreras up next. The 3-1 delivery is a changeup and a beauty. Just floated that into the outside corner. That's the confidence of a big league pitcher that knows what he's doing. To float up a 3-1 changeup with a 3-0 lead. What will he throw 3-2 now? Time is called. He said time, I think.
7:16 Central Time.
Okay. Again, the umpire we're hearing quite clearly is Todd Tishner. Very vocal today. I don't think Donnie will be running here. I'm sure he won't be. On the 3-2 pitch, he's not, and that one's hit down the right field line towards the stands. That's going to get out of play. Giving chase was the right fielder Tucker, who was involved in a play down that right field line where they originally said that he caught the baseball. Adam Hamry had it a catch. It was later overturned, and we just got the full word back from MLB. They sent us an email a couple innings later saying that the replay officials felt like the appropriate placement was for Sajaci to stay at second. Another 3-2 pitch coming up to the Cardinals shortstop Mason Wynn, and he swings and misses, and another strikeout for Matthew Boyd. He has 6 of them already. My goodness.
Well, the Sunday night game of the world hasn't been kind to Fetty. Back on the 4th of April at Boston, the Cardinals lost 13-9. He went 3 innings, 5 hits, 6 earned runs, walked 4, gave up 2 home runs, struck out 1. Didn't strike out a batter tonight.
4 walks, 2 hits, 53 pitches in an inning and a third. Now it's Wilson Contreras, another move to first, and Donnie is, I don't think he's going anywhere, but Matthew Boyd goes back to the pitch com, so I think he made that move to first base because he wanted to change the pitch, changed his mind about what to throw to Wilson. He's calling the shots. Next pitch is hit hard and deep, left center field. He hammered that baseball, but it's going to stay in the ballpark, and it's caught right in front of the ivy by Pete Crow Armstrong. That is what a 15-mile-an-hour wind can do to you in this ballpark. He crushed that baseball, but it is out number 2. He hit that ball on the wrong day, didn't he? Right in front of the 368-foot sign in deep left center field. And they're going to have a conversation on the mound right now before Alec Burleson bats.
Well, let's see what adjustments Burleson can make after striking out, missing the breaking ball down and away in the first inning.
I would say that's about all that Wilson can hit. That's his best bolt, really, but into the wind, unfortunately. And it's a 2-club wind or more. Burley struck out the first time. First pitch to him this time is a called strike.
Oh, he's upset he didn't pull the trigger on that.
Yeah, that was a hanging slider. One strike pitch is swung on and missed. 0-2. Donovan had a leadoff single, but a strikeout of Wynn and a long flyout off the bat of Contreras, who's 1 for 2 here tonight. Now it's Burley with an 0-2 count. He's going to have to protect. The 0-2 pitch is in the dirt. Blocked by the catcher, Reese McGuire, who was originally drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates, a first-round pick by the Pirates, in fact. McGuire started against Fetty in St. Louis and homered against him. But he grounded out here today and won't get another chance as Fetty's out of the game. 1-2. And the next delivery by Boyd is fouled off down the left field line. And not a bad stroke by Burley, but it's out of play. Over the Cubs dugout and a souvenir. Another nice crowd, as we mentioned. Had a huge crowd yesterday, 40,000 plus. And same is true on the 4th of July. One-two pitch to Alec Burleson is a pitch outside, 2-2. Tried to get him with a slider. On deck is Joel Pozo if they can keep this going. Time is called, and we need new baseball again. There's been a lot of that last-minute change of baseball, and the home plate umpire asking for new balls. I don't know what's going on with the baseballs here today. We've seen that before in other ballparks. Cincinnati was the worst at that, as I recall. Pitchers not liking the baseballs. Boyd is set, moved to first. Back safely is Donovan again. What if I promise he won't go? I better not make that promise. I don't have that kind of power. Who knows? Donnie might go. I doubt it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Burley with 11 homers. The pitch to him is swung on and missed. He tied him up, and he has struck him out for the second time. Burley's not that easy to strike out. That is 7 strikeouts for Boyd through 3 innings. We're off to the bottom of the third, 3-0 Cubs. Dansby Swanson and Nico Horner, as the Cubs have 3 runs on 3 hits. They've scored a run in the first inning and 2 in the second. Bush walked his first time, and the first pitch to him is a tap foul. That's off his front foot down the first base line, and it would have been fair, but it hit his foot first. So it's strike one on the Cub first baseman, who's having quite the series. 7 for 9, plus the walk in the first inning. 4 homers. And his OPS up to 939 coming into play today. That's good enough for 4th in the National League. So there's another guy that could be on the All-Star team. Maybe should be. He is deep in the box. Short swing from the lefty, and he lines it in the left field. Boy, he's got a nice short stroke. And the Cubs have their leadoff runner aboard for the second straight inning. And King will now face Dansby Swanson. The Cardinals need innings from somebody. Christian Day is Saturday, July 12th, presented by Greater St. Louis Area Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Christian singer Josh Wilson will perform a post-game concert, and former manager Mike Matheny shares his testimony. Tickets at cardinals.com/Christian Day. Come on out for that. Look forward to it. Be great to have Mike Matheny back in St. Louis. Dansby Swanson takes strike one. Swanson with a 5-game hitting streak. He's having a solid season. A lot of solid years for these Cubs regulars, including the man on deck, Nico Horner. Next delivery to Swanson is low. 1-1. Cardinals need a double play here. Top of the 4th inning, the Cardinals will have Pozo, Nootbaar, and Sajaci. John King delivers way outside. That wasn't close. Tried to get on top of that sinker, but pushed it and missed high and away. 95. King can rush it up there more than you think in terms of velocity. But his bread and butter is getting ground balls, having sinking action at the bottom of the zone. Next delivery is outside again. Again, the pitch maybe overthrew a bit.
Boy, too many 3-2 counts already in this game, and we're only in the 3rd. Actually, it's a 3-1 count.
Next delivery is outside, and it's a 4-1 count. A walk to Swanson, 2 runners on, nobody out. And I feel like it's probably a good idea to pause right here for Station ID on the Cardinals Radio Network, powered by Gray Bar.
Proficient is a global digital consulting.
I've almost caught by Alec Burleson, who's really turned into a good right fielder. Next pitch to Horner is swung on and missed. Wouldn't call him Gold Glove, but he has been really good, steady and right. Matt Swanson getting loose in the Cardinals bullpen. Again, it's the second inning of work for John King. Somebody's going to have to throw more than 1 or 2 here, unless the Cardinals just use everybody. Now, there is an off day tomorrow, so maybe they will. Next delivery is a check swing. I think he went. Oh, it's a foul ball, though. Foul ball, and so they're going to send the runner back to third. Horner hitting .284 with the double in the second inning. And he went to Stanford, teammate of Tommy Edman, who was in the Eric Fetty trade. Breaking pitch, fouled off. Spoiled a pitch away. Thought he might get rung up on it, so he just stuck the bat out and stayed alive. Horner, very, very tough to strike out. And he runs well, so doubling him up won't be easy either. The 1-2 pitch to him is way outside. That one just flipped out of the hand of John King. I think that was his curveball. He's been working on throwing more curveballs to go along with the slider that he throws. That one just didn't work. 2 balls, 2 strikes, still nobody out. And the 2-2 pitch is hit sharply, and it is over the head of Mason Wynn into left field. And that's going to load the bases. A soft line drive was hit on the line, but it was over the head of Wynn. And that loads the bases for Reese McGuire. Man, oh man, the Cubs just keep coming at you, don't they? Horner was jammed on that, but was able to find a hole. McGuire grounded out to first sharply on a nice play by Wilson Contreras. Cardinals need a double play here or a strikeout, one of the two. And there's a line drive to right field. That's going to be a hit. 1 run scores, and they're going to hold the runner at third on the McGuire base hit. 4 straight base runners here in the third inning against John King. And it's now 4-0 Chicago. And out of the Cardinals dugout is Oliver Marmol, and we're going to have another pitching change. And this one is brought to you by Missouri Farmers Care, feeding Cardinal fans across the nation. We'll be right back.
All remaining new 2025 Kia K5s available.
I mean, it's already a challenge, 4-0 down to a National League All-Star, Matthew Boyd, but he's thrown a lot of pitches. He's thrown 62 through 3. Swanson, the righty, delivers a pitch, a swing and a miss, as he got him to chase a off-speed delivery down and away. Well, the Cardinals need something amazing here out of Swanson. Big numbers in the minor leagues as a closer in Double-A, did some in Triple-A also. And he's got that kind of stuff, that kind of potential. An 0-2 pitch to Shaw, that check swing, I think he might have gone. Let's see. Nope. They do ask. And Adam Hammery says no. I'm not sure whether I'd rather have the strikeout or the double play here. I'm going to go with the strikeout. Count is 1-2, and the pitch is grounded towards third, and the play is going to be at the plate, and he threw it away. So JC throws it back to the screen. Everybody's safe. And it is 5-0 Chicago. He made the right play with the wrong throw.
Boy, the Cubs are set up for an enormous inning now.
So JC got it on one hop, and the throw was just wide of Pages, who was trying to stay on the home plate with his foot, and just way too wide for him to come up with it. Now it's Ian Happ at the plate, and it's strike one to him. Cardinals defense has been very good, typically, in 2025. They lead the major leagues in terms of outs above average, but that doesn't help the cause there. Swanson set. The one-strike pitch is grounded to the right side, and that's going to be handled by Contreras. He tags the runner going down to first base. They call him out, and the Cubs may complain about that as Contreras asks for time. Here comes Craig Counsell. He doesn't like that call. He was called out of the baseline. Happ was. I thought he was tagged anyway.
I thought he was too.
But the call was actually that he was out of the baseline. It scores another run, at the very least, for the Cubs. And that's their third run of the inning as Nico Horner crosses the plate. And it's now 6-0 Cubs, but they're not going to win that argument as Hamry walks away from Craig Counsell amidst a lot of boos here, and Happ's going to make his way back to the dugout. And he did miss the tag, and that is a bad call in my mind. There's nothing right about that call. There's nothing right about that call at all. And
I think Hamry kicked Counsell out of the game.
He may have. Hamry's still yelling at somebody, and that is very possible that somebody's out of the game. It could be Happ, too.
Could be.
But he missed that call big time.
Somebody got ejected.
So now it's runners at second and third. McGuire's at third. Shaw's at second. Happ is out 3 unassisted. And there's only one out. And the infield's in again for Kyle Tucker. 6-0 Chicago. Low and in, ball one. Where the Cubs can pour it on big time. I do not think they got that call right. He could reach the base with his slide, which I think is all you need to be able to do. Next delivery is a little bit low.
And he was sliding in that runway area.
Sure was.
Foul territory.
Sure was. I'm not going to go state their case for him to the commissioner or anything, but I think that was a break for the Cardinals. 2-0 the count, and the pitch is hit towards center field. Looping line drive. Hampson comes over, and he makes a sliding catch. Tagging and scoring from third is McGuire, and it's now 7-0 Chicago. Sacrifice fly RBI for Kyle Tucker. Nice play by Hampson on that soft liner, but that's 3 RBIs in this game for Kyle Tucker. 4 runs this inning, all charged to John King. We'll wait and see if they're all earned or not. They may not be. As Seiya Suzuki will bat. Breaking pitch called strike one to him. He has flied out and reached on a fielder's choice.
Swanson's done a pretty nice job here. The throw from Sajasi going wide, allowing a run to score, really opened the door here for the Cubs.
Next delivery is inside, so he got a one hopper to third. He got a slow roller to first and a weak fly ball to center. I mean, you're right. Mm-hmm. He's done everything he can do, but that shows what happens when things start snowballing against you as a team. Suzuki at the plate, and he hits that ball hard down the left field line. That's going to score another. Suzuki rounds first. He's headed to second. He's going to stand up there with a double, thinking about 3, but he stops at second. He drives in Shaw, and the beat goes on for the Chicago Cubs. It's now 8-0 Chicago.
Well, this is feeling like that Sunday night in Boston.
Sure is.
And feeling a little bit like Friday minus the home runs.
Well, we talk about it a lot. It's an old saying in the game, but your starting pitcher really controls the destiny of every given night to a large extent. Pete Crow Armstrong with chance of PCA. Strike one delivered by Swanson. Made a mistake with that pitch. He tried to go in on Suzuki. Didn't quite get it in enough. Next delivery to Armstrong is swung on and missed. Threw that one by him, 0-2.
Really close, according to the home plate umpire, Todd Tishner.
He asked him if that was a strike or not.
It was because he offered.
If I was the umpire, I'd have said, don't ask me when it's 8-0. Just hit. That's what I would have said. That's why I'd never make a good umpire. There's a fly ball down the left field line. Long way to run for everybody, and it drops in foul territory. So JC reached his glove out, couldn't quite get there in time. So the inning goes on. Suzuki had already crossed home plate and has to go back out to the second base bag. Ninth batter of the inning is Pete Crow Armstrong. Four runs allowed this inning by John King. 3 charged to Eric Fetty in the first and the second. 8-0 Chicago. Pete Crow Armstrong at the plate, and he fouls that one off. 97 from Matt Swanson. Well, it seems like we're headed towards a position player pitching again today if we keep at this rate. Swanson ready, and the next pitch, it's outside. That's that very close thing that the home plate umpire was telling Pete Crow Armstrong about. Hit, walk, hit, fielder's choice, and an error, a ground out, a sacrifice fly, and a double. A lot happening this inning. Next pitch is hit in the air down the left field line, and that's going to get out of play. Boy, Pete Crow Armstrong really has good plate coverage. Not the same guy we saw a couple years ago at all. Went to Harvard Westlake High School in Burbank, California. Same high school Jack Flaherty went to, among other big league pitchers and players. Max Fried, Lucas Giolito. And here comes another one from Swanson to PCA. Here it comes, and that's grounded to the right side. Donovan, again, is going to throw out Pete Crow Armstrong, who's grounded out twice along with his single. 9 men come to the plate. 5 of them score. We go to the top of the 4th inning. It's 8-0 Chicago Cubs.
We all plan to.
9 scoreless innings in his 2 starts against the Cardinals. And he goes into the windup and the pitch to Pozo, and that's strike 1. Craig Counsell was out chatting with the crew chief, and then he had to get some clarification from the first base umpire, Adam Hammery.
I thought somebody got kicked out.
And there's a fly ball to right field. So it wasn't Counsell because they let him go out and discuss something as Pozo is out number 1 on a fly out to right. I think what they were doing is, would you mind telling me who you threw out? Because we're not sure. I honestly think that's what was happening because he was asking, and the home plate umpire said, I don't know, I think. And they went over to Hammery, and he came in, and I think he pointed out who he specifically wanted to have thrown out. They weren't quite sure who was tossed out, so I think that was part of that conversation, would be my guess. Because it's not Counsell and it's not Happ because he's still in left. So Nootbaar takes a pitch low for a ball, so somebody had enough and said something from their dugout. Next delivery is swung on and missed by Nootbaar, who was in the bucket on that one. Woo! Really stepped towards first base with his front foot on that swing. He does that a little bit anyway with his natural swing, but when you come up empty, it just doesn't look as good. The 1-1 pitch, and there's a slider for a strike. Cardinals have been coming up empty on Boyd all night. 7 punch outs for Boyd so far, who calls his own pitch on the pitch com and goes into the windup. The 1-2 delivery is swung on and fouled at the plate, in and out of the glove of McGuire. 3 of the 4 runs given up by John King were deemed to be earned. So 1 unearned run, 2/3 of an inning, 4 hits, 1 walk, no strikeouts, 28 pitches, 18 of them for strikes. And there's a swing and a miss and another Cardinal strikeout, number 8. And that is 8 more than the Cardinals pitchers have struck out.
Now the Cubs have put the ball in play, situation hitting, and mixing in some timely base hits. But by putting the ball in play, ground ball, sacrifice fly, they've been able to add on and roll up 8 total runs.
Thomas Saggese bats with 2 outs and nobody on. And that pitch is outside. MLB and the Dodgers are taking over Atlanta with the game's biggest event.
That's about the truth.
The T-Mobile Home Run Derby on ESPN airs July 14th at 7 p.m. Central. Next pitch is tapped off the foot of Saggese. Catch the 95th MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard July 15th at 6 p.m. Central on Fox. Fourteen players from the West Division in the National League are on the All-Star team, 11 from the East and 7 from the Central. And the Central is plus 21 as a group and has some of the, I would say, best baseball, although not tonight for the Cardinals. That pitch is outside for a ball. Oh, nope, they call it a strike on the ring-up by Adam Hammery.
Make up for yesterday.
Could be. That was fortunate for the Cardinals yesterday when he didn't get rung up. Saggese, that is, and he gets rung up on that one as he swings over top of a breaking ball. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 9 strikeouts for Boyd. We move to the bottom of the 4th inning, 8-0 Cubs.
Raising Cane's invites you to grab life by the chicken fingers.
hold up. Yes on the appeal, says John Tumpane. So it'll be Bush, Swanson, and Horner. We're going to have another Swanson and Swanson here. That is a real challenge.
All yours.
I'll do my best. There's a swing and a foul ball down the left field line off the end of the bat of Bush. Most things off of Bush's bat have been right at the sweet spot in this series. He is 8 for 10 in this series, including 4 home runs. Next delivery is taken outside corner, strike 3, strikes out Michael Bush. Good start to the bottom of the 4th inning, and when I said series, my Siri went off and is now looking up something about Michael Bush. So how about that? Dansby Swanson.
Just trying to help.
I guess so. Hey, we'll take all the help we can get. 1 out, and Dansby Swanson, who has popped out and walked and scored in this game. Cardinals could use a quick inning or 2 or 3. Next pitch is swung on and missed. Boy, he's got nasty stuff, Swanson does. 97 with hard sink. We will see Riley O'Brien in this game. And we will probably see, we'll see some more. We'll probably see Phil Maton in this game, too. There's a hard hit off of Swanson's foot and into right field. That hit him pretty sharply. Tried to get his foot out of the way, and that had a loud sound to it. May have hit off the heel of his shoe, and we're going to get the Cardinal athletic trainer, Adam Olson, first out to go check on Swanson, who's not limping or anything, and just showing them where it hit. Maybe even hit off the bottom of his foot. They're asking him to jump up and down, which he's doing, which must be the technical the way to find out whether your foot's okay.
He may have said dance, Pilgrim.
I guess so.
I think he's all right.
They're still giving him a second regardless, and they want him to throw a pitch or two. That ball was hit very sharply by Swanson by Swanson, off of Swanson. And he says he's okay. So Swanson aboard. And Swanson says he's okay, and Nico Horner will bat. And it was the Cubs hitting coach that we were just finding out was tossed out of the game.
Well, the way they're going, they don't need him tonight.
Yeah, he was done anyway. Dustin Kelly is his name. So he's out. Now we know the rest of the story. Nico Horner hits that ball hard, past the diving Sajasi, down the left field line, and Dansby Swanson is rounding third. He's going to score. Nico Horner's going for third, and he is safe with a triple into the left field corner. He now has a double, a single, and a triple in the last 3 innings. His second triple of the year.
He came in 1 for his last 16.
Well, he doesn't have to worry about that anymore. 9-0 Cubs. And they are just teeing off right now, even without their hitting coach. Infield is back for Reese McGuire, who has grounded out and singled. 9-0 Cubs. They have 9 hits, and we are only in the 4th inning. Swanson delivers a swing and a miss on a slider. Motorsports Racing Mecca Worldwide Technology Raceway showcases NASCAR and IndyCar Series drivers on their drag strip, oval track, and road courses. See speed up close. Visit ExploreSt.Louis.com to learn more. Swing and a line drive foul, and that's going to go into the stands over the net. Watch out down there. The Worldwide Technology Raceway. A lot of action over there. Quite a sight. The 0-2 delivery is upstairs, 1-2, 95. And Pages may have been clipped on the backswing, perhaps, or maybe just rolled over an ankle or something. That was just a pitch that he tried to catch, and he's in some pain right now. Not sure what that's all about, what he may have done. He says he's ready to go now. Well, Pages could use some rest.
No, you're right. He's been catching, and when he's through, he goes out there and catches more.
He does. And they need him, but with Herrera out, it's just hard to give him any rest. Swing and a hard hit ball foul. But I have noticed he's just a step slower on blocking pitches, and I'm not picking on him. I just think he's tired.
We are at the end of a 10-day road trip.
Exactly. 0-2 pitch is way high, and again, having to jump out of his stance to catch that ball somehow is Pages. And it was not the hitting coach, it was the assistant hitting coach, we're finding out. It was Maley that got tossed. There's a ground ball over the head of Swanson, and charging it is Mason Wynn, and he throws him out. But another run will score. Nico Horner scores for the third time with McGuire putting the ball into play. He grounds out, gets his second RBI, and it's now 10-0 Cubs. Uncle indeed. So it was their assistant hitting coach, Maley, that got tossed. Slider high, ball one. No wonder they're still hitting, John. There's a swing and a miss. Their head guy's still there.
I mean, they just dig in and wail away.
They sure do.
Push them inside every now and then.
Matt Shaw is at the plate. He has walked, reached on an error. And that's up and in, exactly where you're talking about. And that sent him flying. That pitch was indeed up and in from Swanson. And
well, Swanson's tired of it, and so are the Cardinal pitchers.
Yeah, and there's no doubt. And that was I'm going to say, a good old-fashioned knockdown pitch right there. And it wasn't head high. It
was diving out over the plate.
Shoulder high. Nothing wrong with that. 2-1 pitch. That's up and in, and that almost hit him. I believe that was that was a sinker. 3-1.
He's diving out over the plate.
That he is. I feel like we've been involved in this conversation as it relates to Wilson Contreras, too. So 3-1 the count. What will happen here? 3-1 pitch is a slider swung on and missed. He's still swinging like he's trying to hit the ball onto Wayland, but he strikes out, ends the inning. Swanson with 2 strikeouts, gives up 2 more runs, and we go to the top of the 5th inning. John will have the play-by-play for you. The Cubs are in command, 10-0.
More good news for Frederick Roofing, voted best roofing company by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof, Frederick Roofing.
314-645-2000.
Hey, baseball fans, now at Verizon, we're knocking it out of the park with low prices locked in for 3 years, guaranteed on my plan. Get a single line for just $45 a month when you switch and bring your phone. That's our best price ever on unlimited welcome with auto pay plus taxes and fees. Only on the network you can count on. Slide into your local St. Louis Verizon store today. $20 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco, his 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
It's a great night for baseball.
This matchup features some of the best talent.
His next pitch, Hayes takes a strike on a changeup that floats over the inside half of the plate. Pitch number 76 for Matthew Boyd. The sidestep, the kick, here it comes. Outside a ball, 2 balls and a strike. The Cubs got a run in the first inning. That's after the Cardinals left runners at first and second. 2 more in the second, 5 in the third, 2 in the fourth. A foul ball back on a fastball in on Pedro Pages. A lot of pitches out over the plate for Cub batters. About hit the Cardinals 9-3. And the Cardinals have the game's only error. The pitch to Pedro Pages, fouled off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pedro's 0 for his last 8. A strikeout victim in the second inning. This road trip started with Sonny Gray throwing a 1-hitter facing 1 over the minimum in Cleveland a week ago Friday. The 2-2 pitch. Pages takes a curveball in. 3-2. The Cardinals came back from being 5 runs down on Saturday to win at Cleveland, and then won on Sunday. Nolan Gorman hit a 3-run homer in the first inning of that Sunday game. The pitch, Pages hits it hard on the ground to third. Shaw throws across, 1 out. Let's pause for an ID here on the Cardinals Network, powered by Gray Bar.
One Cardinal Way, where luxury living meets legacy baseball. Next.
Producer engineers Ryan Schulte. I'm John Rooney. We're at Wrigley Field. Ball 1 wide to Garrett Hampson, a strikeout victim in the second. Hampson has gone 0 for 4, a walk and a strikeout head-to-head with Matthew Boyd, who's just cruising out there right now. He fires a strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
You know, people ask a lot, how do players feel when you're on the downside of a big game like this? I've heard that question before.
Foul ball sails on a play down the right field line, no play for Tucker.
The Cardinal players are, they're just getting hammered today. There's no doubt about it. It's 10-0. You feel embarrassed is the question, and I don't think embarrassed is the right word. I think you're mad. You are really disappointed, squared, but I think you're just mad at yourself. You're just kind of mad at the situation.
Foul ball off to the left, keeping the count of 1-2 on Hampson.
But I think embarrassed almost implies that look, we've had bad days, we've had good days before. The Cubs aren't trying to embarrass us, so we don't need to feel embarrassed. We just understand that we're just not very good today, and we don't like it, and we're mad about it.
There's a line drive, and it is caught by Horner in short right center field.
Of course.
Hampson is out. Horner was playing right at the edge of the outfield grass and got a great jump on that one. I just wonder if he was playing legally on that one.
Yeah, I wonder.
Because he got back there quickly. Can't tell on the replay we just saw. He was a long way out there, Ricky.
He was.
He's good. No question about that. Here's Brendan Donovan. 1 for 2 for Donnie. And he's going to the All-Star game in Atlanta. He'll be leaving after the game against Atlanta at Busch Stadium a week from today. The pitch by Boyd, and that's hit hard up the middle, but Swanson gets to it behind second and throws him out. Halfway through the game, 10-0 Cubs.
Baseball season is heating up, and so is the weather. Don't let spring showers wreak havoc on your home. Call Helitech, the experts in
He was out at the plate trying to score on a fielder's choice by Seiya Suzuki in the second. Then a ground out drove in a run. Here's a swing and a miss. He was called for being out of the baseline, diving at first, avoiding a tag by Wilson Contreras, still in that pathway area in foul territory, but was called for being out of the baseline. But he got an RBI out of it. He takes a pitch for a high strike. 1-2.
Riley O'Brien getting loose in the Cardinals pen right now. And this is the third full inning of work for Swanson.
Swanson from the stretch with nobody on. The pitch, half swing and a foul. Eric Fetty, 3 runs, 2 hits over 1 1/3 innings. He walked 4, no strikeouts, a wild pitch. John King, 2/3 of an inning plus 4 batters, 4 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 3 of those runs earned. Here's a pitch low for a ball. Is that right? 3 of those runs earned?
I think they just changed it to 2 on John King.
I think they had 2 and then an earned run for Swanson. Time taken. And Ian Happ uses the batter's timeout. The count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swanson has thrown 41 pitches. He came on in the 3rd inning. The pitch on the way. Happ wraps it on the ground to the first baseman Contreras, underhanding to Swanson. 1 down in the 5th inning. Bush struck out to begin the 4th. Then the Cubs got a base hit that ricocheted off Swanson's foot into right field for Dansby Swanson. And Nico Horner tripled him home. Then Horner scored on a ground out by Reese McGuire, who was driven in 2 runs tonight. Here's Kyle Tucker. A walk, a run scored, 2 RBI single, and a sacrifice fly. Strike 1 to him from Matt Swanson. A 9-game, 10-day trip comes to an end. With this game tonight, off tomorrow, and then the Nationals are in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. A pitch high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Then we have the Atlanta Braves, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, leading to the All-Star break. At that point, the Cardinals will have played 97 games. The 1-1. There's a foul. And someone is going to say, well, the second half begins tonight. That began a long time ago. 81 is the halfway point. 1-2, the count on Kyle Tucker. Where will he play next year? He rocks the bat back and forth. The pitch. High for a ball.
I know where he's playing this year, and he's playing very well as a member of the Chicago Cubs, part of a very good lineup. Obviously, our first chance of seeing the Cubs here at Wrigley Field. I just think that this lineup is really built for this ballpark.
Now the pitch by Swanson. Swung on and a high fly ball left field. Racing over and under it now. Nootbaar, a one-handed grab. 2 outs.
I think for folks who are not in Chicago at the moment and might just happen to go on their MLB app and see the score of this game, would be willing to bet their bottom dollar that the wind's blowing out at 20
We don't have a home run in this game.
No, we don't. It isn't about that. It's just about the Cubs having good at-bat after good at-bat. Cardinals really just not throwing quality pitches on top of that.
2 outs, and here is Seiya Suzuki. He takes strike 1. Suzuki hit a double to left field. That drove in a run, giving him 76 runs batted in. He has 24 home runs. The pitch, Suzuki takes just outside. That could have been called a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right-hander against right-hander. Suzuki, 30 years old. The pitch. Outside in the dirt. Pajes gets a new baseball and throws it out to Matt Swanson. The Cardinals have used 3 pitchers, Fetty, King, and Swanson, with Riley O'Brien warming in the bullpen. Sponson with the 2-1 pitch. There's a high fly ball, deep center field. That's way back to the track and out of here. Suzuki with his 25th home run of the year. Now the game has a home run. 11-0 Cubs.
And that was all Suzuki there. Maybe a little help from a wind that's kind of left to right, but that's still not an easy place to hit a home run in these conditions. And the Cubs just keep pouring it on. He got that one right on the nose.
And here's Oliver Marmol to bring in Riley O'Brien. This pitching change is brought to you by Goodwill. Give hope, give local, give Goodwill. We'll be back.
All remaining new 2025 Kia K5s available. Now with low 2.9% APR financing for 48 months at Offenburg Kia in Shiloh, Illinois. Or save with $2,500 Kia dealer cash on 20 new 2025 Kia Sorrentos available during the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event at Offenburg Kia. Just off I-64 at Exit 16 in Shiloh. Or OffenburgKia.com. 2.9% APR financing for 48 months is $2,209 per.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco. His 13th, and it's a one-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run in the first New York Mets home game after 9/11. Hear moments like this and more on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
All the big hits.
At the wall, gone! No doubt about it!
All the great grabs.
Wow! You gotta be kidding me!
And has chased Matt Swanson from the game. Riley O'Brien is the Cardinal pitcher now. PCA is up. Pete Crow Armstrong taking ball one. A slider low and away from Riley O'Brien. O'Brien is the 4th Cardinal pitcher, a 30-year-old. Out of the College of Idaho. His pitch is stroke foul. That goes out of play down the left field line. The Cubs have put up 11 runs on 10 hits. No errors, no runs, 3 hits, an error for the Cardinals.
11 runs on 13 hits in the first game of the series.
Here's O'Brien with the 1-1 pitch. Armstrong fouls that one just to our left. Pete Crow Armstrong, 23 years old, out of Harvard Westlake High School in California.
Armstrong hits a lot like Bush does. They have that short stroke. That's on their shoulder. They just kind of get it going and go straight to the ball.
The pitch, a swing and a foul back, and the bat goes flying. We've seen him do that several times.
He does. You talked about when you're struggling, John, you create sawdust. You said that last night. You're
right.
You're just kind of grinding on the bat. Well, the opposite of that is when you're so confident you're holding the bat loosely that there are times where it just comes out of your hand. You lose it.
Flying to the track just to the right of home plate, over by the Cardinal on deck circle. And after getting some stickum for the bat handle, Pete Crow Armstrong advances to home plate with 2 outs in the 5th inning, and the Cubs have scored in each inning so far, leading 11-0. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Riley O'Brien on for Matt Swanson. O'Brien's pitch is fouled off. Ryan Fernandez has had a couple of good outings lately down in Memphis.
He has. Struck out the side a couple of times in the last 3 or 4 days.
And that's a name that has been missing from the Cardinals bullpen this year. The 1-2 pitch. And that's hit to right center, a base hit. Just lined over the infield. 2 out of 4 for Pete Crow Armstrong. And he is 6 out of 12 in the series.
We got jammed on that, but again, that's the short stroke where at least you put the ball in play. It was up and in on him, and he got enough of the bat on it to get it over the head of Donovan, Cardinals second baseman.
Michael Busch, a walk, a single, a run scored, and a strikeout. He's up with a runner at first. Pete Crow Armstrong off to his lead. A swing and a miss. Oh, foul ball. That one caught. The Cardinal catcher, Pedro Pajes, just fouled off the end of the bat.
He's been hit several times in this game, and
we may get to a point where the Cardinals may have to lose the DH.
Yeah.
And get Pozo in there behind the plate. Adam Olson hustling out there, the head athletic trainer for the Cardinals. Pajes bent over at the waist, trying to straighten up, trying to catch his breath. Wilson Contreras and Pete Crow Armstrong talking things over at first base.
Ollie Marmol now going to join the conversation. I wonder if he's thinking right along the lines of what you're thinking.
If that happens, the Cardinal pitcher would go into Pedro Pajes' spot, and Joel Pozo, the DH, would become the catcher.
That's not the end of the world in a game like this.
It is not. In an 11-0 game, bottom of the fifth, 2 outs. So 4 runs, 2 earned for King. And for Matt Swanson, 4 runs, 3 earned, I believe.
That's correct.
3 earned runs given up by Eric Fetty in an inning and a third. That's all he lasted tonight in this start. The pitch, down and in for a ball. The guy on the field who's hoping for an out the most is Pedro Pajes right now.
Oh, yeah.
So he can go over and take a seat. He has been taking a beating behind the plate in this one. The pitch by O'Brien, and that is fouled.
It's one of those innings as a catcher. You know, you realize you have to take that break, and you caught John. You know what we're better than me, but you're glad you're not hitting next inning. I mean, if you're coming in and having to take your at bat, I mean, it's like, oh, I'm not going to get my rest here. I mean, he needs to kind of get it together here.
The 1-2 pitch coming up here. A half swing, and that ball hit him. A hit by pitch, Michael Busch.
And on the appeal, they did check to see if he swung at it or not, because that would have changed the outcome there. Because if you swing at a pitch that hits you,
it's a strike.
It's a strike and a dead ball. No one can advance. But that's going to be a hit by pitch. And he did not swing, and it did hit him.
Runners at first and second. After 2 outs, home run, single, and a hit by pitch. And now Dansby Swanson. After Swanson, it's Nico Horner, who is a home run shy of the cycle.
And if he bats this inning, he would have that opportunity to do it in 4 straight innings. Not sure that's ever happened.
The runners lead. The pitch. Foul ball out of play. Upper deck down the right field line for Dansby Swanson. Facing Riley O'Brien. Swanson singled off Swanson in the 4th inning. Came in on a triple by Nico Horner. Reese McGuire grounded out, driving in a run. That was the 2-run 4th. Riley O'Brien with a 1-strike pitch here. That's a fastball strike called.
100 miles an hour.
There it was. Good zip on that one.
Yeah.
That was a blur coming across the plate for Dansby Swanson.
Shows how good hitters are right now. You got pitchers throwing 100 miles an hour, and they've got a 10 spot up on the board. Or 11, excuse me.
The 2-strike pitch is chopped foul on the third baseline.
But it also shows you that as hard as you throw, you can't make mistakes. If you're walking people or you're getting in the middle of the plate, it's still going to hurt you no matter what. So consistency, minimizing the number of mistake pitches that you throw over the course of a game, that's still what pitching is all about.
0-2 on Dansby Swanson with 2 on. The pitch by O'Brien is swung on and missed. Slider strikes him out. A home run by Suzuki. We go to the 6th. 11-0 Chicago.
This is Cardinals broadcaster John Rooney. From the first trip you're...
And the 20th against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So he's on to pitch. 5 innings in the book for Matthew Boyd. And he's in line for victory number 9.
Wicks made 10 starts for the Cubs last year in the big league level. And no need to keep going with Boyd. 87 pitches through 5 innings. He did his job.
And the left-hander Wicks deals strike 1 to Mason Wynn. Wynn with 7 home runs, 30 RBIs, 0 for 1, a walk and a strikeout facing Boyd. The Cubs stay with the lefty. There's a foul that goes off the screen in front of the Cardinal dugout.
Adam Wainwright used to say all the time that, when he would start a game, he would try to keep the pitch count down. So he would try to go, if he was in the 5th inning, to have 50-something pitches. 6th inning, 60-something pitches. Well, the Cardinals have thrown...
There's a foul out of play.
146 pitches through 5 innings. So they missed that mark by quite a bit.
The pitching has not been good. The Cardinals haven't put the ball in play the way the Cubs have tonight, striking out 9 times and only 3 hits. The pitch, Wynn takes high and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sunday, July 13th, the Cardinals play the Braves. 20,000 fans 16 and older will take home a Cardinals retro warm-up thanks to Mercy. Details at cardinals.com/promotions. The pitch for Wynn. He chops it to the first baseman, Bush. The race is on. Bush wins 3 unassisted. Let's pause for a station ID here. For our fans in Pittsfield, Illinois, listening in over WBBA and the rest of our great Cardinals radio network powered by Gray Bar.
Skip the drive-thru line. Your favorite coffee house flavors are...
They fall back down and they keep
Martin, Mike Claiborne, Ryan Schulte, our producer-engineer. I'm John Rooney at Wrigley Field. The Cubs have been turning it on the Cardinals tonight. 11 runs, 11 hits, leading 11-0. Ball one outside to Wilson Contreras, who's 1 for 2. Long fly ball out, caught on the track by Pete Crow Armstrong the last time up. A borderline pitch, just inside a ball, 2-0. Contreras facing Jordan Wicks. Wicks kicks and deals. And that's taken a little bit high. Didn't miss by much. 95 on the four-seam fastball from the 25-year-old out of Kansas State. Born in Conway, Arkansas. First-round pick by the Cubs in 2021. He deals a strike. 3-1 on Wilson. Wilson is 2 out of 9 in the series. He has only 1 run batted in on this road trip, and that was with a solo home run at Cleveland. The pitch, and that's lined into left center. That's in the gap, and it goes all the way to the track and to the ivy. Picked up by the left fielder, Ian Happ. A one-out double for Contreras, who's 2 for 3.
Wilson's looking better at the plate of late. He was on base twice yesterday, had a walk and a base hit in that game. And let's hope he can continue. That's double number 20.
Wilson takes off the body armor, hands it to the bat boy. And up to the plate, Alec Burleson, who struck out twice, facing Matthew Boyd. Wicks 6 up, 6 down. 0-1 with the Cubs this year. There's a line drive, and that goes foul beyond the screen down the right field line. They don't extend the screens very far down the lines
they
here.
Sure don't. We've had several that have gone into the stands there, and folks looking around, making sure everybody's okay at the moment.
A lead at second base for Contreras. Wicks to Burleson. Swing and a miss. Overpowered him, 95 miles an hour. Burleson for the series has 3 hits and 9 at-bats, including his 11th home run of the year that he hit to start the rally when the Cardinals scored 5 to come back, winning yesterday. Foul ball back to the screen as Burleson cut down on the swing. And it's still 0-2. Well, Ricky has been doing lots of figuring before the game, putting together the breakdown of the All-Stars.
Oh, yeah.
Different divisions. I'd like to talk about that as we move along. There's a hard hit ball to the second baseman. That's played by Horner, and he throws out Burleson. On to third, Contreras with 2 down.
Well, the first thing I looked
at... Just evaluating the divisions was interesting
to
me.
And I started out with that, just going through that. I like to do that usually around the All-Star break, is just see like which division is the strongest division. The strongest division is the National League Central. If you get all the averages together or all the wins, losses as a division, the division's plus 21. The National League East is -3. The National League West is -16.
Wow.
Now, there's some good teams in the West, but
Colorado just weighing down the West.
But all those good teams are beating Colorado. So the point is, which division is strongest from top to bottom? The National League, it's the Central Division. In fact, all of baseball.
There's a ground ball to third. Oh, picked on a short hop by Shaw, and he throws out to El Pozo. Pozo's 0 for 3. He just threw his glove at the ball and came up with it. And the Cardinals leave Contreras on. The Cubs come up in the bottom of the 6th. They're leading the Cardinals tonight here at Wrigley Field 11-0.
St. Louis success story, proud Cardinals.
You
Garrett Hampson goes from center to right field, and Victor Scott enters the game in center. Nico Horner leads off. He's a home run shy of the cycle, and he tried to hit for the cycle right there. Big swing and a miss, going after a slider over the outside corner.
A double in the second, a single in the third, and a triple in the fourth.
Horner has hit 3 home runs. He has driven in 37 this year. Riley O'Brien, the 4th Cardinal pitcher of the game. He brings it in, and there's a ball that's popped up down the right field line. And moving over near the side wall and running out of room, Garrett Hampson bumps into the padded wall, which isn't very thick, that padding down the right field line. But the ball went into the second or third row.
We were talking about the divisions, the strongest divisions, and the Central Division is the strongest in the National League in the aggregate. In the American League, the strongest as a whole group would be the American League East. They're plus 17. Still not as strong as the National League Central. And then the West is plus 4. And the Central Division in the American League is the weakest in the aggregate. They're minus 23. And we'll talk more about how it relates to the All-Star selections as well.
The 2-strike pitch for Nico Horner. And he just pokes the ball toward right field. Fermin gets to it, bounces it to first perfectly. Caught by Burleson. And Horner is out for the first time tonight.
That was a tricky play by Fermin.
He got to the ball, showing good range, and from the outfield grass, threw a one-hopper with the bounce far enough in front of Burleson where Alec could handle the throw. Chili Plastering brings your vision to life with expert craftsmanship and attention to detail. From flawless interior plastering to stunning pool finishes. Proudly serving the St. Louis area for 3 generations, Chili Plastering. Strike one into left-handed batting, Reese McGuire. Riley O'Brien is ready. The 1-strike pitch, a swing and a foul ball back, 0-2. Do you have an attendance guess?
Yeah, doing all this math today, and I did not forget to get the attendance guess in my brain. 40,319 is my guess.
Crowds of 40,000 plus each game in this weekend holiday series. Reese McGuire with 2 strikes. The pitch to him. That's off Riley O'Brien, and that ball goes into right field. The second time that's happened for a Cub batter, hitting the Cardinal pitcher on the foot and getting a single to right.
Made the same sound, a thud sound, off the maybe the heel of Riley O'Brien, and again, Adam Olsen comes out to check on him. He says he's fine. I know the deal now. They're going to make him jump up in the air, aren't they? He had to do that. Yep, there he goes. Did it again. Wanted him up on his toes just to make sure that there's no problems with his ankle or his foot, and they're convinced. And short visit, O'Brien's okay.
Well, Dansby Swanson did that to Matt Swanson.
So despite the fact that the Cardinals are plus 21, or in the division that's plus 21, the Central Division only has 7 representatives of the 32 that have been selected to the All-Star team, and some were voted, but 14 from the West, 11 from the East, and only 7 from the Central.
There's Matt Shaw. The pitch taken high for a ball, and that's being in the Midwest mostly.
Yeah, and it's not disparaging those guys that have made it. I think the Dodgers have a great team, no question.
But there are some players in the Central who've been left off. Here's a pitch in for a strike. Sonny Gray. He pitched well enough to be on the staff for the All-Star game.
I mean, there's only
Seiya Suzuki deserves to be on the All-Star team. Michael Busch for the Cubs.
There's only one Milwaukee Brewer and one Cincinnati Red. I mean,
no. Here's a pitch over, a good slider for a strike at the knees to Matt Shaw.
The other way to look at it would be that the Brewers and the Reds and the Cardinals are all similar in the aspect of they're not just a one-trick pony as a team.
Slider goes outside, backhanded by Pajes, 2-2.
You could say maybe they don't have all-stars, they just have good players. The Brewers have Terang and Frelick and Churio. They have good players. And, of course, Yelich and Contreras. And Contreras. I mean, they do have good players. So maybe that's the answer.
Here's the pitch from O'Brien. Swing and a foul ball back to the screen. Still 2-2 on Matt Shaw. Well, that's what we should do. We should have like an all-star week and the division all-stars.
Yeah.
Play like a tournament.
We do that in November?
No, in October.
In October.
Into November. The pitch, a high fly ball to left field. Shallow left. Out goes Wynn, and he calls off Nootbaar to make the catch. Mason Wynn going a great distance to retire Matt Shaw, 2 down. Ian Happ, 0 for 3 with a walk tonight. A ground out produced an RBI, giving him 45.
Well, the Cubs have scored in every inning of this game so far.
And Riley O'Brien is trying to put up a 0 here. Reese McGuire, not a fast runner, leads at first. A foul ball rolls over into the Cardinal dugout. The Cardinals are off tomorrow and will play the Washington Nationals. The Nats will have a new manager. And they'll have somebody running the baseball operations beginning tomorrow. Mike Rizzo, Dave Martinez were let go by the Nats today. The pitch in the dirt, rolling away from Pedro Paez up the third baseline. McGuire stays put at first. 1-1 the count on Ian Happ. Well, we're on the air at 5:50 on Tuesday. 6:35, Ricky's going to go over the lineups. Andre Palante 5-4 against Jake Irvin 7-3. 6:45 for the first pitch, game 1 of a 6-game homestand leading to the All-Star break. 3 with the Nats, 3 with the Braves. The pitch, a strike called. 1-2.
I did see where the Nationals have named as an interim general manager their assistant GM, Mike DiBartolo. But the manager, do not know.
The 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Finally, the Cubs fail to score in an inning. It's the 6th. Ricky has the 7th with the Cubs on top 11-0.
Life doesn't stand still, and neither do your goals.
Nothing Chicago, a 5-run third inning, but the Cubs beyond that scored in each of the first 5 innings. Riley O'Brien finally put up a 0 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 11 runs on 12 hits for Chicago, no runs on just 4 Cardinal hits. Wicks, the lefty, delivers, and it's fouled off to the left off the bat of Nootbaar, strike 1. As we mentioned, the next broadcast will be Tuesday night from Busch Stadium. The Cardinals taking on the Nationals. Andre Palante, 5-4, will go up against Jake Irvin, who's having a good year, 7-3. And the manager is TBA. There's a strike on the inside corner. Usually it's the pitcher that's TBA. Our pregame show begins at 5:50. Play-by-play at 6:35 on Tuesday night from Busch Stadium. Wicks is in relief of Matthew Boyd, who went 5 strong innings, and that breaking ball is hit hard to center field, but it's going to be right in the tracks of the center fielder, Pete Crow Armstrong. Nootbaar flies out. He's 0 for 3, and it brings in Thomas Saggese. Since 1929, Ted Drewes has remained steadfast in its commitment to quality, consistency, and tradition. When you visit Ted Drewes, you're not just enjoying a frozen custard, you're experiencing a piece of St. Louis history. Ted Drewes, unmatched quality, unforgettable taste. 2 locations, open daily. 1 out, Thomas Saggese takes low, ball 1. Contreras has 2 hits. Wilson singled in the first and doubled in the 6th. Brendan Donovan had an infield hit in the 3rd inning, and Thomas Saggese, the 4th Cardinal hit, and that was a double to right. There's a swing and a miss, a little tardy on that. Saggese also was strikeout victim number 9 for Matthew Boyd, who had 9 punch-outs and just 1 walk. They set up inside, and the pitch is outside on the outside corner. Missed his spot, but got the strike. Kyle Leahy looks like he will have the 7th inning for the Cardinals. Riley O'Brien did a nice job. First pitcher for the Cardinals that has had success here tonight. Next pitch is fouled back. An inning and a third for Riley O'Brien, assuming that Leahy is going to come in to start the inning, which I think is a pretty good assumption. 2 hits allowed, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Wicks works for the center of the rubber. He's a left-hander, and he delivers right over the top, and it's fouled back. He literally right over the top. Some guys throw low 3/4, sometimes 3/4. You even hear him talk about high 3/4, but he is right over the top. And then, of course, you got the sidewinders. Not too many of them anymore. Next delivery is a strike on the outside corner, and Saggese strikes out for the 2nd time. This one looking out number 2, and Pedro Pages will bat. So Pages has gotten beat up a bit here in the game tonight, and he's had to be the one calling all of the pitches, too. Let's see the pitch count of Cardinal pitcher O'Brien. 30 pitches, 24 strikes. That's a really good ratio for Riley O'Brien. There's a swing and a miss, strike 1 on Pages. But even though he's only, 30 pitches in an inning and a third, still quite a bit. 162 pitches for the Cardinals through 6 innings. Whew. That's a lot of pitches. 1-1 the count on the Cardinal catcher, Pedro Pages. 1-1 delivery is taken low. Wind whipping out towards right field. We had some rain earlier today. Delayed the game 1 hour. The 2-1 pitch is grounded to the right side. That's just foul. The Cubs' bats have delayed the game another hour, as it has been a long night here at the ballpark. Cardinals heading home after the game today. Off day tomorrow. Then go back at it again on Tuesday. Time?
It's about 8:50.
You want me to tell him?
Time. Go ahead.
Hey, Todd.
Hey, Todd. It's 8:50.
8:50.
Tip of the cap. He appreciates it.
I'm sure he does. There's a clock right up in front of him. Although it's not digital. Some guys only can do the digital ones. That's kind of
right.
Old school. You have to be able to read the clock there with the hands on it. Payoff pitch is swung on and missed. Paje strikes out. 1-2-3 inning. And we are on to the 7th inning stretch presented by Spectrum. Stay in the game with Spectrum Internet. Visit Spectrum.com. Our score, well,
great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1920.
Seventh inning stretch, gals, to our right were
terrible.
We're roundly booed here at Wrigley. That's kind of, I don't know how you get past that, actually. I mean, your team's winning 11-0 and you get booed. Well, life is tough. Not sure who the ladies were, but the fans did not enjoy the seventh inning stretch. 2-1 the count to Vidal Brujan.
Nailed it.
A little hairy there for a moment. Next pitch is hit in the air to center field, and that's Victor Scott who's in the game, and he takes care of Brujan, who was batting for Kyle Tucker. So one out, and Seiya Suzuki will bat. In a game brought to you by Budweiser, official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball. Crack open the game with Budweiser and enjoy unrivaled flavor and refreshment. I would think that's not a bad idea.
You know, Harry looked into the dugout one day. There's Carmen McRae down there. It was Brian. George Bush is in left field. George Bell.
Oops. Well, did that in his honor, I guess. There's a strike to Suzuki. Had a nice meal on the Navy Pier. The Harry Carey's out there. I hadn't been to that one before. There's a check swing. Nope, he went, says the home plate umpire, Todd Tishner. By the way, the seventh inning stretch was presented, John, by Spectrum. Lightning fast speeds, major league reliability, so you can stay connected. And we are connected, all right.
I feel a little disconnected in this game.
Yeah, I guess. 11-0 is our score. Riley O'Brien's still out there. Facing Suzuki, the next pitch is outside with a slider. He's been good. The slider's been good. The fastball at 100. Suzuki has flied out, reached on the fielder's choice, doubled and homered. They have production up and down this lineup. Next pitch, a check swing. He didn't go again. And no appeal. Kyle Leahy is getting loose. I thought he'd be coming in, but, well, eventually he will. As we play here in the home half of the 7th inning. 1 out, and the pitch from O'Brien is on the inside corner, strike 3. He punched him out. Suzuki has a way of kind of getting his body flowing into the pitch, and that's how he generates his bat speed, I guess.
And we're going to have Leahy in the game now.
And Ali Marmol is going to the other right-hander, so we do have another pitching change. And it's brought to you by Missouri Farmers Care, feeding Cardinal fans across the nation. We'll be right back.
All remaining new 2025 Kia K5s available, now with low.
It might be in the TV booth down the hall.
Might be. I think I could have made that play.
You have long arms.
Kyle Leahy is the new pitcher for the Cardinals. Swing and a miss. He blew that one by Pete Crow Armstrong up in the zone. That's the Kyle Leahy type pitch we saw a lot of early on. So Leahy looks like he's got the rest of the game for the Cardinals. He is pitcher number 5 here today. Riley O'Brien went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts. And there's a hard hit ball to center field, but that's going to stay in the ballpark. And Victor Scott makes the play. And Pete Crow Armstrong makes the final out of the 7th, sending us to the 8th, 11-0 Chicago Cubs.
You've given your Cardinals ball cap.
Wicks facing Garrett Hampson, the Cardinal right fielder now. He takes a strike from the left-hander. On deck, it is Jose Fermin. The pitch by Wicks. Check swing, a ball in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. I've learned that with all the changes, I wait till I see them on the end, in the on-deck circle before I write them in. Here's a high pop-up on the infield. The shortstop Swanson has it. Hampson is 0 for 3.
That makes sense doing it that way.
It does.
Learned that in spring training, didn't you?
I did, but I can always erase it.
Yeah.
I don't use ink like someone.
Like some people we know. By the way, the lady that was doing, or the young lady that was doing the 7th inning Take Me Out to the Ball Game, apparently she's a podcaster and influencer, and
didn't influence the crowd there.
I was going to say.
Ground ball base hit. That goes through the hole at short for Jose Fermin.
Well, good for him.
He's on with 1 out in the 8th inning, and Mason Wynn is up as we pause for an ID on the Cardinals Network, powered by Graybar.
Proficient is a global digital consulting leader and
there's a ball smack fair inside the third base bag, down the left field. Oh, foul ball. I thought that hit just fair. Looking up the line, Mason Wynn. He comes back to the plate. Just foul down the left field line for Mason, who has a walk, a strikeout, and a ground out. He put a good swing on the first pitch by Wicks and takes outside on pitch 2. Crown Hall at Budweiser Brewhouse in Ballpark Village is St. Louis's newest go-to live music venue, featuring a Southern-inspired food menu, expertly crafted cocktails, and live music every night. Wynn bounces one. This is just foul. Learn more at stlballparkvillage.com. You were bringing up Harry a while ago. Joe Grube, the stage manager for many years, he still works both sides of town. The local TV for the Cubs, White Sox. He was working with Harry one night, and Harry told him to go get a root beer. There's a chopper up the middle of the infield. Stepping on second, Swanson throws to first. A double play. So hold that thought as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's all Cubs tonight, 11-0 at Wrigley Field.
Hi, Cardinal fans. It's Ozzie Smith. Chances are you're a Schnucks.
Playing third base, Nolan Gorman going from third to short. Thomas Sajaci, Mason Wynn is out of the game. Michael Busch, he's leading off against Kyle Leahy, taking a pitch a little high. 11-0 Cubs as they bat in the 8th inning.
I want to know more about that root beer story.
Well, Harry asked for a root beer. And Joe Grube went back to the press room. They don't have root beer. The pitch, outside a ball. So he comes back in. They don't have any root beer. Ah, come on, Joe. They've got to have root beer here somewhere. Go get me a root beer. They got a root beer here somewhere. So Joe goes back to the press room. There's a swing and a drive, right field. That ball is going to get past the right fielder, Hampson. Take a bounce off the track, high off the ivy, and Busch has a double leading off the 8th. That is the second double in this series for Busch, who has 2 hits tonight and 9 hits total in the 3 games. Dansby Swanson is coming up. So Joe goes back to the press room. They don't have root beer. But Harry told him, do not come back unless you find me one. So he pours him a diet drink and brings it back in, and Harry takes a big sip. Oh, that's good root beer. Harry hadn't had a root beer in years. Here's a pitch, a strike called. 97 on the outside corner to Dansby Swanson. Swanson tonight, walk, single, 2 runs scored. The pitch, a swing and a miss, a half-hearted swing on a slider.
Wasn't around Harry very much, but he was certainly a character.
Well, bigger than the game.
Bigger, yes, he was.
15 doubles for Busch this season to go along with 18 home runs. He has 4 home runs in this series, the runner at second. A swing and a miss. Swanson takes a left and heads back to the dugout, striking out. That was a great, hard breaking ball, a slider by Leahy. And here's John Berti. He's batting for the first time. He pitched in the game Friday, the game won by the Cubs. The Cardinals have scored a total of 11 runs in this series. They've been blanked tonight. A swing and a foul ball back by the former Miami Marlins.
They've been blanked 3 times on this road trip.
All in Pittsburgh. And when you know it, Pittsburgh goes out to Seattle and loses all 3 games. I think they lost the last 2, 1-0. Berti the batter checked his swing and no appeal. It's a ball high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Berti holds the bat close to the knob. Holds the bat high over the right shoulder. The pitch, a swing and a miss. Baby on the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. I think O'Brien and Leahy were pitching like they're mad.
Yeah. Well, I think Steven Matz did yesterday. And I think it changed the game.
Now the pitch. Outside a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Cardinals are off tomorrow. We'll play the Nationals the first of 3 6:45 games beginning Tuesday night. And then Atlanta is in over the weekend. The pitch. Solid smash to the shortstop, Sajaci, and he throws out Berti. Holding on at second, Michael Busch, 2 outs. Time? Well, it's 9:11. 9:11 Central.
9:11 time.
It's Reese McGuire.
There's a clock up on the scoreboard.
McGuire, a single RBI, ground out RBI, another single.
It is the friendly confines, you know.
Not so friendly to the Cardinals tonight.
No, it's not.
Pitch up and away. With the Cubs scoring 11 in the first game of this series, winning 11-3, hitting 8 home runs. The Cardinals came back, winning 8-6 yesterday, but trail 11-0 tonight. A pitch in for a strike to Reese McGuire. McGuire's played with Toronto, the White Sox, the Red Sox, and the Cubs. In a pop-up, the third baseman wants it. Gorman on the outfield grass in fair territory makes the catch. We go to the 9th, 11-0 Cubs.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents
2 in the second, 5 in the third, 2 in the fourth. Suzuki capped off their scoring with a 5th inning home run. Victor Scott the second hits a ground ball to third, and that's barehanded, and no chance for the third baseman Shaw to throw out Victor Scott the second.
That's his best bunt this year.
And he had enough on it to get it close to the bag, and Shaw couldn't throw him out.
And it wasn't a bunt. It was a check swing.
It was it looked like a swinging bunt.
Right.
But he hit the ball right next to the third base
He sure
bag.
did.
Same result.
It worked.
The pitch, a swing, and the ball's popped up on the infield. Calling for it, the shortstop. Swanson has it, 1 out. Burleson is out, and he's 0 for 4. Victor Scott the second at first base, and a pitching change, really? In an 11-0 game? He just came back from the minors.
Well,
this one's brought to you by Goodwill. We will be back.
All remaining new 2025 Kia K5s available, now with low 2.9.
Pozo takes a high fastball.
Valencia is the one that threw one up and in on Wilson Contreras. It started a little extracurriculars in St. Louis.
10 saves and 11 opportunities for Palencia. Chopper toward third. And the play is at first base. Shaw throws out Pozo. Scott makes second, and the Cardinals are down to their last out. 11-0 in favor of the Cubs. The Cardinals are an out away from being 3-4 on the road trip, with all 4 losses shutouts. 3 in Pittsburgh and this one tonight. Lars Nootbaar's 0 for 3. Valencia throws strike 1. Well, if Nootbaar can get a base hit, that breaks up the shutout. With the speed on second, Victor Scott. Scott led off with a half-swing single to third. Now the pitch. That is a pitch high, a slider from Palencia. Jordan Wicks, 3 1/3, 3 hits allowed. He struck out 2. He's responsible for Scott at second. Palencia with the 1-1 pitch. Newbar gets under this one. High fly ball center field. That should do it. Pete Crow Armstrong is there. He has it. This ball game has come to an end. The Cubs shut out the Cardinals 11-0. Ricky and I will talk about it after this.
Don't forget your favorite Lays, the perfect sidekick to your game day. No matter if you're cheering for our St. Louis Cardinals.
Certain magic here in